Hi, this is Kimberly Reuter, business advisor and supply chain expert. And welcome back to my podcast, The Morning Mood. We are on episode, 4 or 5 of the Freedom series. We've lost count. I don't
We just
know.
don't.
And we've just come up with a bonus round, a bonus episode. So I don't know. We've lost count. We're just out here being free. So we don't know what kind of episode we're on. Tiana is back, of course, because we can only have the Freedom series with Tiana. So, Tiana, kick us off and talk to us about the freedom from the fear of failure.
Thank you. I am so glad we are talking about this today. Hi, everyone. Freedom from the fear of failure. Let me tell you something. It is about courage. That is just one of the values that I didn't even realize was something I was growing up with. But it's the courage to say, the courage to do, the courage to not worry about what other people think is the
Yes.
only way that you can actually survive freedom from the fear of failure.
Fear
So
of failure.
for me, that really shows up in my thinking because we got to think before we say and we got to
Yep.
think before we act. So that is pivotal and why it was something that really, I think, rang to both of us
Oh,
when we
yeah.
just started thinking about how do we get to where we are? How do we get through our days at Amazon?
Oh, yeah.
Was that failure just wasn't an option.
Yeah.
Because the reality is we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah.
If we don't know what that is or don't know what we don't know, we learn, we figure it out.
Yeah.
We ask the questions and we get through. So that for me, I think was critical as to how that even showed up on our list of our
Yeah.
freedoms.
Yeah. And so, first of all, what I want to say about failure is that everyone fails. Everyone fails. And in fact, I believe so strongly in this. And when I meet someone and they're like, oh, I'm like uber successful, I've never failed at anything. I'm like, bitch, please get out of my way. Like, I don't stop taking up my air because you are either completely full of shit or you have never, ever, ever risked anything in your life.
That part.
And
that part.
I learned this from a woman named Lisa at Nordstrom. And I was really frustrated at Nordstrom because I was trying to make shit happen and Nordstrom was trying to make shit not happen. Well, I wouldn't say that. That's not fair. But there were people within the organization that, weren't accustomed to my style and speed, as I like to say. And so I went to go talk to Lisa because Lisa was always chilled out. And I'm like, why is Lisa never bothered? And Lisa said this. She goes, Kim, if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough.
Come on.
And I was like,
Come on.
what? She's like,
Come
my
on.
brother taught me that when I was learning to ski. She's a fabulous skier. And she's like, my brothers taught me that because I was always falling down the ski slopes. And they said, if you're not falling, you're not learning. You're not trying hard enough. So everyone fails. Everyone. Look at
Yes.
all of the great inventors, the uber successfuls. They all tried something first. Spanx,
Yes.
amazing story. She failed the bar like 6 times. I might be embellishing. It could have been 3. I'm not sure, but she failed the bar multiple times.
But she got it done.
Yeah, but look what happened. So I want to make sure that everyone knows that everybody fails.
And it's okay because that's the way you learn.
And that is,
And if you got to try, you got to test, whatever it is that you call it, for you to learn. One of my coaches, Casey, she said something profound to me this just last week about you can't perfect what you don't produce.
Right. Yep.
So it says it all the time, but it hit me even more so last week when I'm like, because I'm not a person that's just out there.
Yep.
And she's like, well, if you don't put something out there, you're not going to know how it's going to touch or hit people.
Right.
And because I'm the back of the house. I will always say I'm the back of the house. I'm going to make sure the operations run, the systems are flowing, but to be able to actually see, and I know it. I do it in my work.
Yeah.
But it was something new for me.
Yes.
But it wasn't about fear. It was more like, all right, I gotta, what's the operations process of this?
Right. But
Let's
sometimes
get
we have to because we get but that is a mechanism, and I wanna talk about that a
Mhm,
little bit too, right?
mhm.
That, perfectionism over progress, that, I can't do it yet, and where that comes from is that people will hide behind this, like, "Well, it's not ready yet, it's not ready yet, it's not ready yet." What they're really afraid of is failing. They're really afraid of, "If I put it out there and it doesn't work, then what?" So we're going to get to that because you and I have both prepared what do you do when you fail? Because we're going to get to that
Come
in a
on,
little bit. But I want to
come
talk
on.
a little bit more about why addressing your freedom of failure is important. Because there's two sides of this, right? There's actually, well, there's like, this is multifaceted. There's more than two sides.
It is,
There's
it is,
like,
it is.
but talk to me a little bit why you feel this is important.
Why I feel this is important because I don't I see people get stuck, and then their entire lives
Yeah.
are based off of that one thing
Fear.
that didn't go right
One
on that
failure,
one
that
build.
one
One.
thing.
And that is, I hate that for
I
folks,
hate
and
it.
I don't want anybody to be in that stuck phase that doesn't allow for them to actually show up in their purpose.
Yeah,
So that's one for me.
yeah,
The second one for me is from a leadership standpoint. From a leadership standpoint, if you are not leading with the level of empathy, you
yeah,
can never actually move your team forward because the way you give feedback or don't give feedback in the times of failure
yes,
can actually derail the entire environment, not just for yourself, but the people
yeah,
who are supposed to be under your purview
yeah,
or even your peers
yeah,
that you're supposed to be in sync with.
yeah,
So those are the two
yeah,
in life and in career that
yeah, and it
is my
crosses
why.
over, like, I definitely think it also crosses over, but I'm gonna jump off a little bit off on your leadership comment there, because when I was a leader, how I always when I was leader, I'm still a leader, but when I was leading groups at Amazon, how I always approached it was as the leader, it was always a sort of weird approach. I think it's kind of a weird approach. Like, I would go in first and kind of assess it,
Mhm,
like, is
mhm,
it safe?
mhm,
You know, like,
mm.
okay, all right. Like, I would go to the first meeting, like a new initiative somebody wanted my team to work on, or a new project, or a new problem, or an executive explosion. I would go in, right? And normally by myself, just to make sure there was no shrapnel, no bullets, we weren't taking active like, there was no friendly fire, just diffuse the situation, whatever it was. And
Mhm,
then I would bring my team in and be like, okay, this is the situation. This is what we got going on. This is what I need you to do and you to do and you to do or whatever. And now you run with it. And so building that sort of environment where it was like, hey, I've assessed it. It's a safe place for you to go play. There's no
yep,
snakes in here. But then that allowed them to go fail and what you just talked about is that, me climbing out on the limb and being like, okay, I'm going to make sure it's okay. A lot of times
mhm,
I failed and came back and was like, oh shit.
yeah,
We got a problem. I gave bad directions. It didn't work out right. Whatever it was, we missed something. We got to go do it. But I accepted the failure first or the challenge first,
yeah,
diffused it, simplified it, crystallized it, whatever needed to happen, and then brought the team in.
yes,
And that allowed them to feel safe because they're like, Kim has said that this is a safe environment for me to go into. And if I fail, I know she's got me.
correct.
Yep.
And I look at that as a combination of things. I look at it as, yeah, I can take ownership. I can support my team. Um, and they're covered.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think there's a point where bringing in the team member to be in that environment, it also helps them learn
Yeah.
and sees how to navigate
Yeah.
when the fire is real,
Is happening. Yeah.
is happening.
Yeah.
They don't have to say anything,
No.
but they're in the space and can see how, as a leader, you navigate the choppy waters.
Yeah.
And it gives them an understanding that if they're in a space with their peers, because the choppy water doesn't always stop just with at that leadership meeting. The choppy water could also go down,
Yeah, oh, of course, absolutely. And I
right?
think the
So
second thing with the fear of failure, like for me personally, was when you can step away from that, you can step away and it's always there. Like I don't want to make it sound like it goes away. It's always there, right?
it's
It's
there.
just you have to
Yeah.
sort of catch it, address it, know what's happening. There's people have talked about it's your emergency brake, like after 5 seconds, you'll stop yourself from doing something. But for me personally, when I started addressing the failure and the freedom of the fear of failure, it allowed me to be more creative and allowed me to produce better work.
Yep.
Because
And
when I gave myself permission to be like, "Okay, it may not work. I don't know, let's go find out. Let's go see what happens." It turned on that, like, explorer, right? You become an explorer, and you're like, "Oh, I don't know, but I got my backup kit," right? Like, I got extra water, I got my matches, like, I know what to do if I get in trouble, but I'm gonna go figure it out. And I think when you can apply that to, like, your professional life and how you develop, that's a pretty amazing thing.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. I actually call that interrogate your fear.
Oh, I love it.
Fear hates being questioned.
It does.
It it shies away once you start getting those answers. Like,
Comfortable. I have a very similar one. You bring this up to me in the Buddhist philosophy we call it having tea with Mara, which is having tea with your fear. So you invite it in. Come in. What Tell me, what are we afraid of? Let's sit down and have a cup of tea. Tell me what's going on. And you're right. When you do that, when you like stop the oh my god, that spinning, it's almost nothing.
changes
There's
every
almost always nothing there.
embrace it.
Mhm.
Embrace it.
Have some
Um,
tea.
ask the bold case, ask the bold questions, gain your insight.
Yep.
And I love that. Having a cup of
Tea.
tea. You
Have
don't
a cup of
understand.
tea
That's a
with
thing in my
fear.
family. And who wants tea? Who wants tea?
Who wants a
And
cup
we
of
sit
tea?
and
Can I get you a cup of tea? All right. So we've done a good job covering off like what fear is to us, why we feel like tackling this issue has been important to us and our
yes,
freedom journey. So
yes,
both of us have 3 tips on
yes.
how to because you're gonna fail. Let me just back it up and say it again. You're gonna fail. So
And
we
it's
got some
okay.
tips for you on how do you pick yourself back up, Tiana? What do you got?
So number one, I just shared it. Interrogate it. Interrogate your fear. Fear hates to be questioned.
Yes.
Go ahead. Question it, get it out of your system.
Really
Take
look at it,
control.
like, what is
Take
it? What am I actually afraid of? I remember
take control.
when I left Amazon, I remember I was afraid I would never get another job because I needed a break and I took a break for a year. I'm like, "No one is ever gonna hire me again." Like, I literally thought that I was gonna be working at a grocery store, which in hindsight probably would have been a good choice, but at the time, that sounded, like, kinda scary. So anyway, go ahead. But yeah, we create these fears in our heads.
Wait a second. I just have to say we all take a year because I also took a year
Oh,
after I
yeah.
left
I
Amazon.
should have taken 10 years, but anyway.
We all take a year. You need it. You
Yeah.
need it. But that's all right because my number two is action is the antidote to
Yeah.
anxiety.
Good one, good one, good one. Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Fear can definitely paralyze us, procrastination, prevent progress, but action, momentum starves fear.
Yes.
So just like you interrogate, now you're starving it
Yep.
by actually doing something.
Yep.
Just do it. One step.
Just
What they
something.
say,
Just
take
do
one
something.
step,
Yeah.
do something.
Yeah.
Anything. And then the last one is especially for the leaders out there, especially the new leaders that are learning how to be that person who provides the feedback. Yo, all I got to give you lead with empathy, even
Yeah.
empathy for yourself.
Yeah.
It's okay that that
Fail.
failure happened.
Yes.
All right. But that empathy, like I said earlier, gives you the courage to just understand and have truth. Like it just, all right, it happened. All right, now
Yeah.
how are we going to solve it? How are we going to take action?
Yeah.
All right, let's question ourselves and we can fix this.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not a problem here.
Nope.
Apologize to who you got to apologize to and move
And
on.
let's go. Yeah. Excellent.
And
Excellent points. All right. So what I have and similar to yours is number one is learn. Failing is about learning. So just the people who fail, like we talked about those, the sad people stories that we know of the person who went all out and failed. And then that was it.
mhm,
They
mhm.
likely didn't learn anything.
Yep.
Then that's why they didn't go for round 2. So always learn. That is the point of failing actually. Number 2, everyone fails. I talked about Lisa and that if you're not falling down, you're not trying hard enough.
Right.
Everyone does
Right.
it. Accept it. Read any famous actor, any KFC. I mean, I can't. All these stories keep rolling in my head of people who started businesses after like failure after failure after failure after failure, and then
Yes.
boom, something hit. Sometimes it's just a numbers game. And then number 3 for me is get back up. It is not about how hard you fell. It is about how quickly you get back up.
Yes. Yes. I gotta share this because when you
Yes.
said the learn piece, I'm literally Alanis Morissette is in my head. You live, you learn, you love, you learn, you lie,
Yeah.
you learn,
Yeah.
lose, you learn,
Yeah.
you fail, you learn. Love
Learn.
it.
You gotta learn. And you gotta get back up. Like failure isn't the end. It's the beginning.
Yep.
It
Yep.
really
That
is.
that right there is a nugget. That right there is the nugget. It is the beginning. And folks, it's
Not the
not the
end.
end. How do you just
It's not the end. If Tiana and I could write down all of our failures, mostly I've forgotten them all, thank God. But if I could probably write a war and peace on all of my failures.
oh, like, that's a book. That's a
It's a
memoir right there.
novel. It's an epic. It's
Yes,
bad. We're
it
not even getting
is.
into the personal shit. That's just professional. Oh my god. Ooh, I make Mission Impossible 12 look like a series
That
that
I'm like, I'm literally seeing the memoir right now, the personal, the business. So if you read from the back forward or the forward back,
Oh, so fail. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Go and fail.
please
Do.
do, don't hesitate.
Go
Don't
fail.
hesitate.
Go fail.
Yes,
Go
it's
fail.
okay.
Tell us in your comments how you failed. We want to hear about it. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Sia. And that is us
Thank you, Kim.
on Freedom Friday.